Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is February 15th, 2024, and I'm still working on that Kawasaki Vulcan. On the last video it showed me cleaning out the tank, drying it out and everything, and my next step was going to be putting in the tank sealer, okay? So that was my next step. So I hooked the vacuum cleaner to the tank to dry it out. I got it all dried out, and I'm a guy, okay, so I didn't read the instructions on this can before I started because I'd watched a video and it kind of told you how to put it in, how to apply this stuff. What it didn't tell you in the instructions, at least I didn't catch it, is, and if you read the instructions, which I finally did before I put it in, thank goodness. I don't know about you, but I'm old enough, of course, obviously, to wear trifocals, okay? I have a hard time reading small print like this. I don't know if you can see it, if you can read it, but I've got it 8 inches from my face, and I really got to concentrate to be able to read it. So I get out my cheaters, and I read this, and the instructions tell you, you know, to put it in the tank, tip it around all different directions, everything, and then change position every 2 hours, and then repeat the step until the solution comes out. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Let me start over here. I see I'm misreading this. So anyway, long story short, they recommend you use this prep stuff in the tank first to eliminate any extra rust that could be in there or anything, and also it kind of etches the surface to allow this stuff to stick better, okay? So I ordered it on Amazon. It came in yesterday, and this is what it looks like, okay? And as big as this container is compared to this container, the print is still just as small on this bottle as it was on the can. So again, I get this stuff out to read it. And it basically it tells you to, you know, put it in the tank, swash it around and everything. And then it says to rinse it out several times with hot water. I didn't really have a good way to get hot water to this tank, so I'm just gonna rinse it out with my garden hose, and then dry it again like I did before with the shop vac. That works really good. Excuse me. But for you young guys, anybody under 30 probably don't understand. You guys can probably read that from there with your eyes shut. You get to be my age, you lose sight of things, okay? Your sight doesn't get that good. And it reminds me of a story back when I was younger. We owned a machine shop, my father-in-law and I, and my mother-in-law and wife, who all owned a machine shop in Illinois. And my father-in-law, first off, I love the guy to death. I love my mother-in-law to death. And he's probably one of the smartest men I've ever met in my life, and an awesome machinist, an awesome welder. I mean, a guy, he can do anything. And one day he was in the welding shop, and I went over there, and he was welding something together. I don't know what it was. And he gets all done as well, just beautiful, just perfect, just a beautiful weld. But I start laughing because it starts out right on the seam, and by the time he gets down so far, he's about an inch away from where he's supposed to be welding with his weld. And I just start laughing at him. I said, Jim, how can you not see that, you know? And he goes, well, with these stupid trifocals, he said, I can't see anything. And I thought, how can you not see that? And I hit bifocal age, and then I hit trifocal age, and I tried welding here. And the other day I was welding something, beautiful weld, just beautiful. But about the last little bit of it was not where it should have been. And so I understand exactly what he means, even though you think, how can you not see that? But it is harder to see as you get older. So you young guys, appreciate your eyesight and your hearing while you can, because as you get older, that starts fading, and it gets very frustrating. So anyway, what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna go ahead and reread the instructions on here using my cheaters, and make sure I'm applying this correctly in the tank. And then I do know it said on here to make sure you rinse it thoroughly. It says, remove excess from painted or chrome surfaces as quickly as possible to avoid discoloration. And like I said before, this tank is in really nice shape to paint on the outside. I don't want to do anything to chance damaging that paint. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to be really careful pouring it in. I'm going to try to keep it off the outside completely if I can. And if I do get any on, as soon as I get this poured in there, I'm going to go out and rinse it off on I got a hose ready outside. I'm going to rinse the outside off so I can tip this around and get it all throughout the tank. And then it's, let's see, you're supposed to, it says remove loose or flaking rust, paint, scale, etc. Surface to be treated. Should be free of grease, oil, and other foreign substances. Use directly into solution, so don't dilute this down any. On bare or rusted metal surfaces, keep surface wet for 20 minutes, then rinse thoroughly with water. Remove excess paint, excess from painted or chrome surface, like I said before. Well, it doesn't say use warm water on this one. On this one, it said to use warm water to rinse it off. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. So let me get the camera set up, and we'll get that done. Oh, one other thing. I did try to vacuum this out after I dried out the other day with my shop vac, but I couldn't get my hose down in there very good, so I stuck it in the hole and I tipped around everything. I thought I had it cleaned out pretty good. I noticed this morning I had still some flakes of rust in there. So I took and I went in and borrowed Diane's cordless shop vac with this long nozzle on it. I get in there and tip it around and suck it all out really good. So next time she uses it and she asks me, why does this smell like gasoline? I guess I'm going to tell her that I put a big block Chevy on it for her to give more power. That's what I'm going to tell her. So anyway, let me get back to getting the tank ready. Okay, there's a quart in this bottle. I'm going to dump the whole quart in there. They've got it sealed up pretty good, I guess, because they had to ship it. And I'm sure there's going to be some kind of internal seal once I take this lid off. Yeah, it's got a seal there I'm going to have to cut out of there. Stuff doesn't really have an odor. I mean, it's got a little bit of an odor, but nothing. I mean, I think Simple Green smells more caustic than this stuff does. So just go ahead and dump the whole amount in here. I'm not sure if this stuff's reusable or not. So we shall see. You can kind of see it's got a little bit of a bluish tint to it. Let me get the camera set up. I'm going to take it outside and kind of slush it around so I don't get it all over the garage here. Okay, it's their time out keeping the whole interior, all the surface wet internally. For 20 minutes. Part of the problem I can see is I don't know how much this is getting all over the internal surfaces, so I can't really tell. All I can do is keep swishing around. Oops, something came out of my pants. I don't know if that's good to get on your skin. I better rinse that off. Okay, let that soak for a little bit. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get this all. I'll keep tilting it around for 20 minutes and then we'll get back to you. Okay, look at that. Looks like a brand new tank. There's a little bit of water in there yet. I got a suction out and then hook the vacuum up to it, let it dry out good, and then we'll put the sealer in it. Okay, so now we're ready to put the POR 15 fuel tank sealer in the tank. I've cleaned the tank out. I put the metal prep in, slushed it all around until it covered all the areas and kept it wet for, all the areas wet for 20 minutes, and I flushed it out, dried it with my vacuum. I went back in, made sure there was no dirt or anything in there. I cleaned it out really good that way. I used these big Q-tips and just wetted them a little bit so I could stick it down in there and keep bouncing the tank around until I got everything out. There's nothing else in there. So, and it still looks really good and clean inside. You can kind of see down in there. Still looks like a brand new tank in there. I can't get over how good that stuff cleaned. So it says to open this up, stir it, then dump the whole can in the tank and then slosh it around till it coats all the surfaces, and it's got to dry for, it said 96 hours before using the tank. So stuff looks kind of like silver paint. I don't know, it might change after I get it all stirred up, but I wish there was some way to spray it in there so you could kind of fog it, because it's going to be kind of hard to get it on some of these areas because of the shape of the tank. But I'm mainly concerned about the very top of the tank, because the tank was almost full of fuel and it's mainly rusted on the top. So with it laying upside down like this, I should be able to coat the top really good. But I'm going to slosh it around really good and try to get it everywhere that I can. Okay, that feels mixed up pretty good. I don't feel anything in the bottom anymore. Okay, let's try pouring this stuff in here without making a mess. This is a 5-gallon tank, and this can's supposed to do a 7.5-gallon tank, so we should have plenty of sealer. It's just being able to get it everywhere I want to get it in here. I think I'm going to take it out in the sun where I can see down in it better and then mix it up. Okay, so I've got pretty much the whole inside of the tank coated. This stuff, even though this little 8-ounce can says it would do 7.5-gallon tank, I was kind of skeptical. I've never used this stuff before, but it actually worked very well. This stuff is, it's kind of a silver metallic kind of looking liquid, and it's not real runny, but it's a little runny. And if you see down in there, if I can tip this back and forth so you can kind of see it flowing in there. It says to coat the whole inside of the tank and then drain the excess off, and then you have to let it sit and dry for 96 hours. My problem is this tank has a lip on the inside here around all the openings, so you can't drain it completely just trying to dump it out. But I've got this turkey baster I got at the dollar store, so I can throw it away if I run it. But I'm hoping I can go in there and suck all the excess out and then set this and let it sit for 96 hours and dry really good, and then we'll be ready to put the tank in. I went in with this dental mirror and looked all the way around wherever I could in all the holes, and it definitely coated all the surfaces. I can't get over how well it did. You have to take your time because you got to kind of roll at this center hump here. You got to kind of tip it so it runs all the way down to the bottom of the tank here, and then tip it so it runs along this edge on the inside here, and slowly tip it, and it'll eventually it spreads out because it's kind of sticky, but it runs, and then it slowly runs down around as you slowly turn it. And I must have turned it a dozen times back and forth different directions to get everything coated, and it looks really good. So I'm very happy with how this tank is turning out so far. So let me get this stuff here sucked out, and then we'll be ready to let it sit and dry for a few days. And I'm just going to put it back in the same container it came out of. It says not to reuse this. I don't know why. It looks really clean. I don't really have any need for it. I hope to never need to use it again. So, but I'm just putting it back in the original container for now until I get it all out. And probably, I mean, this isn't like a two-part epoxy or anything you mix, so I don't know why they're saying you can't use it over again. They said the cleaner you can use over again, so I don't know why you can't use this. But I'm going to get it all sucked out here and see how it looks. I'm kind of curious to see how much I suck back out here and see if they're right as far as how big a tank this will do. most of it out of there. Okay, I ended up putting this little extension on the end of this turkey baster, and that let me get the rest of it out, and I just took a little paintbrush and cleaned the rest of it out. But you can see here, it's kind of hard to judge, but you can see there's hardly anything out of this can, and it did the whole tank, the 5-gallon tank. It worked very well. I don't know. I'm going to put the lid on it and put it away and see if it'll keep. It says not to reuse it, but I don't know what that would hurt as long as it's sealed. Like I say, it's not like it's a two-part epoxy mix or anything, so it shouldn't be no chemical reaction going on there, I wouldn't think, unless it reacts somehow with that prep stuff. Anyway, I'll put that out of the way for now. And I've got the tank sitting over here drying. See down in there, it looks really nice. The stuff did a really nice job. I mean, you can see it's coated all up on the sides there. I don't know if you can see up in here, but even that little vent tube's covered with it. So it got everywhere that I could see inside the tank. I don't think it's gonna be an issue now with rust in this tank. I'm very happy with the way it turned out. It says it's got to dry for 96 hours, which is basically 4 days. So today is Thursday, the 15th of February. So probably we got company coming in from out of town this weekend, so I probably won't get anything done on it anyway. But it'd probably be, I might let it sit a week just to be safe, 7 days just to be safe. I'll make sure it's good and dry before I put any fuel in it. Plus, I also got to work on the fuel pump. There's the fuel pump and the sending unit. I've been letting them soak in vinegar the whole time I've been working on this tank, and when I took it out, this piece here fell out, and I don't think it should have done that. I think it was crimped or soldered to that little lever in there. I got to get it apart and see, but that'll be on the next video. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to go ahead and end this video now so it doesn't get too long. The next video will be on working on the fuel pump and the sending unit. Appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day, and we will see you on the next video.